For this next topic, I am going to be conversing about something that has been ongoing for a little while, and that is the abuse allegations against Jonathan Majors, the performer who is playing the next big MCU villain, Kang the Conqueror, as Jonathan Majors already did so far in Loki Season 1 and Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, as well as a guest role in Loki Season 2, presumably. Needless to say that this is a PR nightmare for Marvel Studios and Disney. The allegations against Jonathan Majors, as reported by Rolling Stone magazine, are deeply concerning and paint a disturbing picture of, frankly, his behavior. If, and only if, these accounts are true, it is distressing to hear about instances of physical and emotional abuse inflicted upon his romantic partners. And listen, this is something we shouldn't have to say in today's day and age. Such behavior is completely unacceptable and should be condemned. But there's also the other side that I want to kind of touch on. What if the allegations against Jonathan Majors turn out to be false? Well, frankly, if the allegations against Jonathan Majors turn out to be false, and let's face it, this past year alone, the court's time was wasted dealing with false allegations. Statistically, too. And also, like the one against Johnny Depp. So, if the allegations against Majors is false, it should be a relief for both the actor and his fans, rather than be something that, elite feminists want to push further, or label it as some bias against women, or any victims of abuse. Because false accusations can have severe consequences on an individual's personal and professional life. It is very crucial to remember the principle of innocence until proven guilty and allow the legal process to unfold. And yes, sometimes even the legal process is corrupted. But if I had to choose between a random bozo on Twitter or a judge who has looked into more information that hasn't even come out to the public yet, I take the verdict of a judge any day. And again, sometimes the legal process, actually many times, the legal process is a tool utilized by crooked individuals to mess around and treat like a child's plaything. Yes, which is why when the evidence comes out, I am certain there are analysts out there who will help Mr. Jonathan Majors win the case. Or maybe even lose the court of public opinion. I mean, that could also be a case to win or lose. As for the legal process, well, they decide the cases. If, as stated in a new report, crew members genuinely felt afraid and uncomfortable due to Jonathan Majors' actions, it raises serious questions. But if, as stated in a new report, crew members genuinely felt afraid and uncomfortable due to Jonathan Majors' actions, it raises some alarming questions about Jonathan Majors' professionalism, demeanor, and ability to work collaboratively. Because one production member said the following, and I'm going to quote them: "I've heard of different method actors and how their behavior is, but none of them are violent or rude toward their crew, enclosed in brackets Majors, was completely disrespectful and kind of violent toward everybody. It put everyone on a stress level because we can't do our job because we were afraid we were going to get hurt. So, this is what someone on the production team said. Look, guys, other than maybe being violent towards someone, the word disrespectful is one of the most subjective terms of all kinds. What constitutes disrespectful for me, for you, for that production member might not constitute the same for everyone else. Maybe Jonathan Majors did a Tom Cruise and yelled at someone for doing something they weren't supposed to. Again, I am not condoning this action if that's what Jonathan Majors really did, nor am I really condemning it, because we do not know the context to endorse or condemn. So, without having a full comprehension of the background of the incident and what Jonathan Majors actually did or said, it is up to the jury to determine whether Jonathan Majors was actually being abusive. And if Jonathan Majors genuinely was abusive, I will be very disappointed and obviously sympathetic towards the victims. And by the way, if anyone, by any chance, listening to this podcast or anyone I know is a victim of such abuse, the last thing I'm going to do is, not believe you. Because chances are, or there's a high chance that it actually did happen. But when it comes to someone we don't know, and who isn't in our circle, and who's a high-profile celebrity, it is crucial to maintain, objectivity and withhold judgment. Because accusations like the one I am currently reading from the Rolling Stone magazine about Jonathan Majors are dangerous. And the same holds true if we discredit potential victims. And by the way, if there are any potential victims that you know or acquainted with, don't discredit them. You're supposed to, stand up for them if you're able to. Unless you're on a wheelchair. Okay, guys, that was a bad joke. Sorry. I'm not sorry. But, if what Jonathan Majors is being accused of is actually true, well, that's also dangerous. Either way, this is a dangerous allegation. And that is why the cinema Courtroom is going to remain neutral until new evidence comes out. And I would kindly ask, before you comment your opinions on this matter, do some fact-checking. If you see a flashy headline, just read through it. It only takes a minute, maybe 2, maybe 3, if you're a slow reader and need to have glasses like me. And more importantly, don't be afraid to admit that, hey, I was wrong. If you were wrong before, admit it. So, with that being said, what do you think about the new report detailing Jonathan Majors' abuse allegations? Where do you stand in regards to this issue? And what repercussions do you think this drama is going to have on the MCU side of things? Whatever your insights are, share them with me in the comment section below, or reach out to us through our Twitter inbox at Cinema Courtroom. The links can be found in the description below.